2 years ago, Supernanny met Megan. They didn't hit it off. Megan ruled the roost.
It's my show, do I like?
Terrorised her sisters.
Megan! No! Megan!
And erupted at any given moment.
It's you that my better. Now go!
Supernanny experienced some of the most challenging behaviour she'd ever come across.
Okay. It's all right. It's okay. It's angry.
I think Megan felt clearly threatened by my presence and the change it might bring. She treated her mum with such disrespect.
Mum, shut up!
Denise was definitely on the edge. She didn't know what to do.
And 2 years later, Supernanny's going back to see if her training has kept Megan's explosive temper at bay. Paul and Denise Cooke live in Hertfordshire with their 3 daughters. Erin, 6, Gabriella, 8, and Megan, who's now 11.
I've got to say, I'm really looking forward to going back to the Cooke household. You know, I want to see a family that's continued to put in all that hard work. A more controlled, calmer Denise, and a Megan who's more respectful now, and a household that's more harmonious.
But before Supernanny returns, it's time to turn the clock back.
Ouch!
The Cooke household was a hectic place. Paul worked long unsociable hours as a fireman, while Denise struggled to juggle motherhood with a part-time admin job. Looking after her 3 girls was hard enough, but Denise's life was made much tougher by one demanding daughter in particular.
Megan is very, very, very willful. She's always been a strong character.
Just go and sit up.
Ouch!
Megan!
I wanted to sit down! No, Mum, get off me!
You never know what's going to set Megan off, and you are generally treading on eggshells.
What do you want to drink? Just sit up. What do you want
I
to
told
drink?
you, Coke!
I love her unconditionally, but she's hard work.
I'm not hurting you. I'm not hurting you.
You are! You don't know because you're not me! There you are!
Don't scratch me.
Denise's approach seems to be a lot of counter-argument, and so consequently there's a slanging match that goes on.
I want you to sit up and do your homework.
Mine!
Go and do your homework.
Not unless you give it to me.
Go and do your homework.
But it's mine.
Right.
Worryingly for Paul and Denise, Gabriella and Erin are starting to copy their big sister's aggressive behaviour.
It's like a vicious circle. One starts, the other starts. It gets to a point where it's just uncontrollable.
Now stop!
Now the Cookes hardly ever go out as a family.
If I take them swimming or cinema, it's very hard to get Denise to come.
I don't want to join in with them because I'm scared of the repercussions. I don't know how it's going to pan out.
And will you stop swinging it?
No, that's what you do with it! Get off!
Give it to me and stop swinging it. It's dangerous.
I feel completely frustrated. Every emotion is going through my head and I just want to be home and I don't care what they do. Megan,
I'm going!
please don't shout at me like that.
Yes, sit at the table. That's what I'm doing!
I'm at my wit's end. I've got nowhere else to go. I just feel I've failed, basically. I need Supernanny now. I need a miracle.
Help is at hand. Supernanny has been in the business of taming tough kids for 16 years. But how will she handle the Cooke family, and one little lady in particular?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. How are you? Hiya, pleased to meet you. Joe Frost, how are you?
Oh, that's just Timmy!
Looking forward to meeting you.
Hiya. What's your name?
Megan.
Hi, Megan, pleased to meet you. How are you?
It's 8 a.m. and time for the dreaded walk to school. Supernanny is spending the day observing the family without intervening so she can see where the problems lie.
Let's put it away now. Megan.
It doesn't take long before Megan and Mum kick off.
I'll do it. I said no. I said no. Just let me put it away now. Right, we won't be having a cake, will we?
Mum, I don't know what it's done.
Can I have the phone now, please? Can I have the phone? Not you're just doing anything. I want it back. Megan, now! Come here, please!
What's that?
I've asked for the phone. Give
Mummy,
me the
maybe get the wrong
telephone.
letter.
Give me the phone! Just give me the telephone, Megan, because you're really annoying me.
Megan's just bit her mum because Denise tried to take the mobile phone off of her. It's become heated. There's attitude. There's no respect. And nobody's listening to one another.
I haven't touched your docking
Well, I
station.
gave it to you. You're supposed to touch it.
Come on, Erin, let's cross. Come on, Erin.
Well done, Mum.
Quickly, Erin, there's a car coming now! What are you doing? Gabby! Megan! Gabriella!
Later, at tea time, Paul is back from work. The girls have been misbehaving all afternoon, and as usual, he's come home to a stressed-out wife.
Gabriella, can you sit up, please?
Right, get some wine. You'll be out. You'll be out.
She's
You'll be
going
out
to
of
eat her
it.
dinner, Paul.
She's not going to.
I
Sit
don't
there.
feel
For goodness
like...
sake, Gabriella, just eat, will you?
Well, ask nicely then, and you'll
Don't
get
be
it.
rude.
If you're not, don't ask nicely, I can't get it.
I said orange squash.
Yeah, but you missed a word off.
Daddy.
Orange, Gabby.
Supernanny believes every couple needs to show a united front to their kids.
Would you say you have different parenting styles?
I would say you have.
Discipline is
I think
probably where
your
we
tolerance is
differ.
our tolerance is different. My tolerance is so long.
Toy Mum.
Denise's tolerance
Toy Mum.
seems to be more variable.
Because,
like
Paul,
extend or the
because
count or that 1, 2, 3
I'm
will start.
tired,
Yeah.
and I'm
No, no, I'm not
worn,
blaming
and
you.
I'm
not-
worn
no,
out,
this-
and I basically...
This is another problem we
No.
have, is that when we try and discuss it like this, it ends up getting heated. And then we don't get anywhere. The barriers go up for either one or the other.
Because I feel very defensive, and I do, as I've said to you earlier, I feel like I failed.
It's
And
not
I-
a case of failing.
I know it's not, but I feel that, Paul.
Or I'm making you feel like you failed and all the rest of it. That's not...
I personally feel I failed my children. I feel that I'm not a good mother.
You're a good mother and you haven't failed them. It's just you
But why do they walk all over me the way they do?
can have a break for a minute.
Later that evening, things have calmed down, and the girls have a treat in store for Joe. Megan and her sisters like nothing better than putting on a show.
You've got to put your hand up, you twit.
Pardon?
Given Megan's somewhat volatile artistic temperament, these plays never have a happy ending.
Don't say it! Shut it out!
Oh, don't
No, don't, it's going really well, Goons.
Well, it's not. It got ruined once. It can get ruined again.
How many children are there in it? It's
Megan,
Seven.
bed now, because you
No.
just spoiled it.
I haven't. It's my show. I can do what
Megan.
I like.
You
in
have
it.
just
Megan.
spoiled it.
I'll
You
take...
can't say
Megan,
that.
do you want me to take you up or are you going to go?
You just spoiled
Spoiled
it,
it.
Megan.
Go.
I haven't. I didn't do anything.
Don't stand.
Spoiled it, Megan.
I didn't spoil it.
Megan,
Oh, wait,
Megan,
wait,
will
wait.
you listen to me?
Hey,
Megan,
Mum, shut up.
please don't talk to
You
me.
tell me not to shout.
Don't,
You
Megan,
shout.
I've told you before, I'm your mummy and you're my little girl and I don't expect you to speak to me like that. Please, Megan, do not speak to me like it.
When Megan and Denise argue, they both have tempers that spiral out of control. And they both need to calm down. They're very much alike. But at the end of the day, there's one mum and there's a daughter. And somebody has to be responsible. And that somebody has to be mum.
Do you know what you've done to me? Do you? Do you care? Yes. But you can't care. Megan, look at me. Megan, look at Mummy. I'm not laughing. You're not funny and you're not clever and you're making me very sad.
I am clever.
Please, could you get into bed?
What are you doing now? You all right?
I can't stand it.
What is it right now you are feeling?
I'm feeling hurt and sad that my 9-year-old daughter can treat me the way she is.
just no respect. It doesn't matter who I am. She doesn't. I'm not like a mother to her. I'm just like a. I don't know what I am to her, but she doesn't respect me. She doesn't care for me, and she treats me so badly. I want a bit of normality from Megan. She's just so extreme, and she just goes off the boil. And I want love from her, and I want her to hug me and tell me she loves me. I don't want her to shout at me and tell me she hates me.
Supernanny has seen enough. From tomorrow, Paul and Denise face a few home truths.
Discipline? Where is it? Where is the discipline?
And Megan's reign over the household is seriously challenged.
Get lost!
I know you're angry.
Just give me the telephone, Megan.
Supernanny is on a mission to help Denise and Paul Cooke regain respect from their 3 daughters. In particular, 9-year-old Megan.
Very clever, Megan. Well done.
Wasn't me!
Supernanny has witnessed the family's problems with her own eyes. Now it's time to get tough and tell the parents exactly where they've been going wrong.
3 creative, beautiful girls, highly intelligent, strong-willed, and you should be proud of that. But where's the respect from your 3 girls?
They don't have any respect for us.
The behaviour, because of the lack of respect they have for the pair of you, is eye-opening. Let's start with Megan. She bites and pulls you and slaps you, and you take it like a punch bag in a boxing ring. When you argue with Megan, it must be like looking at yourself, because the pair of you are very alike in your personalities. It's like watching 2 kids, because neither lets go. You're both fighting for the last word. How are you setting a clear, good example to your children when you're telling them to stop shouting when you're shouting yourself? Discipline? Where is it? Where is the discipline? Why is it hard to discipline the girls?
Because there's so much confrontation and arguing, and I just find it easier to ignore, maybe.
The pair of you haven't given them any boundaries, so that when they overstep those boundaries, there is a consequence for it. It's, I'm going to do this, I'm going to count to 1, 2, and tickety-boo, because nothing else happens. It really doesn't. You're not working together as parents. You both walk on eggshells with one another. Paul, you're too scared to tell Denise really what's on your mind. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. Because if I explain how I feel, it'll get an adverse reaction. And I feel that my feelings will be negated, so I don't bother.
You don't do what parents and couples should do, and that is support each other.
I know everything you're saying is true, and that's why we're here, that's why we want to move on. We don't want to be this black cloud hanging over us. Sun to shine.
Yeah. I expect to be cloudy on off days, but it's having an umbrella to deal with it.
Exactly.
Everything she said was spot on, so I think it needed to be said. Certainly for us too. It sort of, in a way, it sort of cleans the slate.
I think Joe pretty much hit the nail on the head, and you know, it's a process that we've all got to work towards together as a family.
Over the next 4 days, Supernanny will help bring the family together, paying special attention to Denise's rocky relationship with Megan. But first she needs to deal with the lack of discipline in the house, starting by laying down some ground rules.
So, the first one says no yelling or shouting. There's no need to raise your voice or yell, because it can be very upsetting.
Supernanny is also adapting her renowned naughty step into a reflection room.
Every household rule that gets broken, there's a consequence for that. And if they refuse to listen and they carry on, then I want you to put them in that dining room, which is now going to be called the reflection room.
Supernanny thinks that given Megan's age and temperament, she'll respond much more positively to a room in which to reflect. Younger sisters Gabriella and Erin will be sent to the room when they're naughty too.
If I behave like this, this is where I end up. That is setting firm boundaries.
As another incentive, Supernanny introduces a wall chart to reward good conduct and punish bad.
Now, this chart is princesses' castles, okay, that have got pathways, all right? And I've got these special ones.
What are they, little princesses?
They are princesses, but you know what? It's Princess Gabby. When you show Mummy and Daddy that you behave yourself, you're going to jump up onto the pathway, okay? Until you reach the doors of the castle. Because when you reach the doors of the castle, you get to do something that you want to do.
It's sissy stuff. That means it's babyish.
Come and talk to me if you've got something to say. Because I'm not going to talk to you across the kitchen, Megan.
Megan decides she's far too grown up for princesses, and so it's off with her head.
Okay.
No. Right.
Down. Megan pulls crown off.
Megan.
Well, I think it's sissy stuff. Will that help?
Megan.
Supernanny believes children should be given a warning when they start to be naughty. This gives them a chance to change their behaviour before being punished.
Right.
I will.
If you don't get it out of the bin, you're going to be in there.
Me too.
Go on then, in you go.
Megan ignores her warning, and within 5 minutes of the reflection room being unveiled, she's in there for 9 minutes. 1 minute per year of her age.
When you go into the room after a time, explain why you put her in there, okay?
Yep.
And say to her you want an apology.
Right, you're in here because you put something in the bin that we need to get out of the bin. Before we do that, I want an apology. Is that your apology?
Tell Mummy.
So you say to Megan,
My friend thinks you're a bitch and I agree with them.
I want an apology, please, okay?
The behaviour you're showing is really unacceptable and I want an apology.
Sorry.
I want a heartfelt sorry, not just a sorry.
And how will Megan know how to give you a heartfelt sorry unless you have to show her? Say to her, look at me and say I'm sorry.
Look at me.
So that she knows, otherwise she won't know.
You need to look at me and say I'm sorry, properly, as if you mean it.
Well, I need it because I don't sell!
Megan, no.
No.
No, we don't hit.
Yes, I do!
Paul,
Come on.
just
She's not a member of the household, so I can do it!
follow through.
Megan, start with your proper apology to me and then we can go and get your glass of water, we can get the picture out of the bin and then we can start again.
I don't want the picture because it's sissy stuff!
Right,
Wait a minute. That's led into engaging in conversation. I want an apology for that behaviour. She's either going to say she's sorry or she's not. What was that, Paul, that she said?
I don't know.
She doesn't know. Then she can sit in the reflection room and think about that next time. Okay? It's all right. It's okay. This is angry. This is Megan angry. Look, angry. Look. This is Megan angry, but she needs to know boundaries.
My friend thinks you're a bitch. And so do I.
Megan's aggressive behaviour gets her another 9 minutes.
She's going to be in there all night, isn't she?
Megan refused to put her face on the chart because she thought it was very sissy. She became very rebellious about it. She became very scared of the change. Fortunately, I took the brunt of Megan's temper, but because it was the first time I was teaching that with Paul and with Denise, I felt it strongly that I should just ignore it. Throughout this course, if she does decide to hit me or bite me, I will be placing her in that room myself.
It's all too much for Denise, who's taken refuge in the bathroom.
What is it that is difficult for you to watch?
Well, to see her behave like that with you. I mean, I'm her mum, and if she does that, it's not acceptable, but I'm her mum. But to her to do that to you, it's just awful.
But why do you think she's doing that to me?
Because she's so angry, I suppose.
But why do you think she's angry?
Because we're trying to get control from her.
not from her. We're trying to lay boundaries. And she sees, she's right. She sees I've come in and I've got household rules in your home. And she's like, hold on a minute, I had free reign. I could do exactly what I want when I wanted, and now I'm angry. And this is the impact of her anger. To scratch and to bruise. The answer is to stay in control as the adult, to be calm, because if you lose it, then you've got really 2 kids. There's nothing going to be gained from 2 people that explode. Nothing. So one of you has to stay in control and calm, and that is the adult.
After an exhausting hour, Paul tries once again to get an apology.
Right, need you to look at me first. I want an apology.
Sorry.
I'll be a little bit louder, please. Didn't quite catch it. I'm going a bit there. Come on.
You're not dead.
Come on.
Sorry.
Just cuddle.
The next couple of days aren't easy for Megan, who seems to spend more time in the reflection room than anywhere else in the house.
She's just dented the floor. She pinched Gabriella.
I didn't pinch her.
Going
I
into
hit her.
reflection room, well, regardless.
But with Supernanny's help, Paul and Denise stick to their guns. And on day 3, Megan goes into the reflection room and actually reflects.
I'm going in.
Be positive, okay?
Megan, I want an apology. If you don't give me one, you're going to have to stay in.
Sorry. See, I said it.
Come here, do you mean it? I feel elated that I could control a situation so easily just by keeping my calm and taking control. I feel elated.
At last, a breakthrough. But there's still a major problem. Megan's ongoing battle with Supernanny.
Yeah, it's your fault, Joe. It's you who's making me cry.
Why am I making you cry?
Because you're being horrible to everyone, aren't you?
Is that what you think?
You're just being a
No,
stupid
is it?
bitch. I don't know!
Supernanny has been teaching Paul and Denise Cooke how to discipline their 9-year-old daughter Megan. After a difficult few days, she has started to respond to the new rules. But her ongoing battle with Supernanny is still raging.
Shiz.
Megan? No, excuse me. Megan, that behaviour's unacceptable. This is your warning.
Well, she's not part of the household, Mum.
Megan, Joe's just told you.
But it's
And
called the household rules.
And Joe's part of the household at the moment and she's helping us to
No,
put them in
she's
place.
not.
Megan, that's back chat and that's your warning. If you want to talk to me again like that, you're going to go back in the room for 9 minutes. Megan?
Megan can't see that her parents are behind the changes in the house. It's Supernanny she's got issues with.
Thanks, Mum. Yeah, it's your fault, Joe.
For the techniques to work, Denise and Paul must show Megan they're with Supernanny all the way.
Are you listening? Joe has come here to help us, and we will be a really happy family. Listen to me. I'm not cross. Am I cross?
You're not really going to make us happy.
It will make us a much happier family. And when she's gone, we'll still be doing the same things. Good night, Megan. Listen, okay.
Your daughter's behaviour shocked you, isn't it? You can't believe that that's your daughter. Well, you know what I say? This is the time where you don't forget now. This is where I want you to remember that that's your daughter, because that's where now you need to step up as a mother and make sure you're consistent with those boundaries. Doing very good, because you're being consistent, okay? So keep up with it.
Undaunted by Megan's resistance so far, the next morning Supernanny pushes on with her plan. Phase 2 is all about improving communication between mother and daughter.
Sometimes when you talk to Mummy...
Joe believes if Megan can express herself in a more controlled way, it will help reduce the conflict.
Sometimes I notice. And I've come up with an idea that I think will help Mummy and Daddy understand and listen to you, and also it will help you to be able to say what's on your mind and how you're feeling. Okay? This box, okay, it's a pretty box, called the thought box.
The thought box is there to encourage Megan to note down anything that's on her mind, whether it's positive or negative.
And that way, Mummy can read your thoughts and you can discuss it. Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supernanny is convinced every parent must spend quality one-on-one time with their children.
The idea is for you
To help reinforce the bond between Megan and Denise, it's essential they have more fun together.
And today I thought that it would be really lovely if you went ice skating with Mummy this morning, just you and Mummy.
That's better than football.
That's wicked. So excited, and just seeing Megan say, she was squeezing my hand and just so excited. She's beside herself. It's lovely to see her like that, and I'm excited too.
What this will do is build Denise's confidence in her relationship with Megan and make her understand that she can have fun with her, that she just needs to open up a little bit and enjoy the pleasant times with her.
You're doing really, really, really well. I can't believe you're doing so well, considering you've never been on them. I don't remember the last time Megan and I had fun together, really. Certainly not together on our own.
I had loads of fun. Loads and loads and loads.
At the end of the day, a happier, calmer Megan opens up her thought box to Mum.
I got to go ice skating, and I've never been in my life. So thank you. That is so special, darling. Thank you for having a lovely day with me.
I want to go again.
Oh, not tomorrow. I need to get my breath back.
The ambience in the house this evening has been very pleasant. Everybody has generally been a lot calmer, more relaxed, and it's been a pleasure to be in the household and to see it so calm.
Supernanny's teaching time has come to an end. For the next week, Paul and Denise have to go it alone.
Thanks very much.
Bye!
See you later.
See ya!
I think everything's going to be a challenge for Paul and Denise, just trying to remember everything that they've learnt over the past week or so with me. So it's trying to implement the techniques, remember all the advice and make sure that they do it.
Now that Joe's gone, I feel confident in the techniques that we've got, that we'll better carry them through.
I know I'm going to be tested, but I'm quite confident that I'm not going to get in the same situation as I have in the past. I do know I'm going to be tested, and I'm ready to be tested.
Sure enough, the day after Supernanny leaves, the testing begins. Megan wastes no time pushing her parents to see if they will stick to the new rules.
Can we just start, because we've now got 2 minutes
Yeah,
left.
Erin's not letting down. She's not.
So you're getting cross and trying to organise everyone, aren't you?
Well, I'm the director.
Don't shout at me, Meg.
Just sit down.
Megan, that's your warning, and you're going to be in there.
Megan,
You've had enough
reflection room,
warnings.
please. In you go. Megan. Right, you're coming down on the board too.
Don't care.
Denise and Paul don't rise to the bait. But Megan doesn't give up without a fight and launches into a spectacular tantrum that lasts well into the night.
No.
Megan, pyjamas. Now.
Zoe wouldn't let me have a bath. Heard that bath every other night. I didn't want one. And I had them. Get out of my room now. Get out.
I can't believe it.
No, you have to. We're stay here. Come on.
Keep calm, and they will be calm.
Megan, you don't need to be...
Denise's resolve to stay calm doesn't last.
Your homework now. You're going down.
By by midweek, all three girls are testing her patience.
All my energies are with the three of them, and I'm just at the end of my tether with it, because all I'm doing is going round in circles again.
By the end of the week, Denise is really struggling. And another one of Megan's plays descends into chaos.
She hasn't ruined it. She has ruined it.
Supernanny's 9-minute rule goes out of the window, and Denise makes up her own time for Megan's punishment.
18 minutes.
Denise has totally lost control, and things descend into a slanging match.
Megan,
What?
I'm not having this behaviour. You do not hurt her household belongings.
You hurt me first.
Good to see you.
Supernanny's back, and not a moment too soon. Armed with footage from her week away, the #1 priority is to tackle Denise's hot-headed approach when dealing with Megan.
We're going to the fire
Don't
station.
care where we're going.
Could you strap yourself in?
No, I'm putting my shoes on.
I'm not having that kind of attitude.
Speaking to me like that.
A tone of voice.
That is unacceptable, Megan.
Come on, give it to me, Denise, because this is
my
good.
tone of
This is
voice.
yours.
She's using the same tone that I'm using with her.
Children learn how to communicate with you, how you communicate with them.
Denise hasn't been consistent with the discipline either.
Get in there for now. 18 minutes.
I don't care, I'm not getting it.
18 minutes?
Yeah, where'd
Because
that
she
come
bit me.
from?
Because she did two things. She bit me on the way down the stairs, and she'd hit someone upstairs.
Right, okay. Reflection room, one time. 9. 9 minutes. She comes out, she does something else, back in for 9. Because otherwise you'll find yourself in a situation where she feels she's serving life. Well, she might as well do everything. I think what's important to look at when we look at this is just how one thing leads to another and how they actually feed off of you losing control of the situation. And the impact of that is quite incredible to watch and see how the girls respond to that.
I knew I had a part to play in issues that we were having. It's a bit of a shock, but hands up, I've accepted I was at fault, and hopefully we're going from strength to strength and we won't go back where we were.
Now that Paul and Denise have seen where they were going wrong, Supernanny will spend the next 2 days reinforcing her techniques. It doesn't take long for an opportunity to arise. Despite Megan's vicious behaviour, Denise remains calm.
You know you're in here for hitting Gabriella, don't you?
After a peaceful 9 minutes, Megan's time is up.
We don't want some big, long explanation, okay? It's short and sweet, very precise, very calm. Kiss and cuddle, no grudges. She goes and says apologies to whoever she hurt and then move on, okay?
Sorry.
Good girl, I do want an apology, but you... Skipping ropes are really dangerous. And if that had hit Gabby in the eye, could have been a real accident, okay? But let's go and say sorry to Gabriella now.
Denise's determination not to lose her temper is starting to work. On the walk home from school, an incident that would normally escalate into a huge row is successfully dealt with.
You do an American accent. What's the matter? Megan?
Get my badge off now.
Megan, I'm not going to have behaviour like this walking home. When we get home, you're going to be in the reflection room.
No, I'm not. I only got a bit angry.
I know you got a bit angry now. Hold on to the buggy and let's go home. Rehearsal. Is there a rehearsal?
Mum's in control of situations. As soon as the children start, she nips it straight in the bud and she tells them that she's not tolerating it. Mum's definitely gained a lot more confidence.
Back at the ranch, Denise sticks to her word, and it's straight in the reflection room for Megan, who goes in without a fuss.
That in itself is such a result, because we've been in that position walking home and I've scratched and screamed and got home and said, get up the stairs, I don't want to see you anymore. What's that resolve? Nothing.
Exactly.
So that's a huge, huge step forward.
Exactly.
I want some apology.
Although the girls are still being naughty, Denise is handling the situations with confidence and control. The calmer atmosphere in the house is having a positive effect on everyone, especially Megan.
My cousin does my nails and a manicure. She's got the little set. You can have these stickers and they cover over the top bit.
I was just thinking, that's one thing you could do with Mum.
What?
You could go out one Saturday, you could go and get your nails done. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? But Mum doesn't shout as much now, does she? What about you? Do you think you're calmer now?
Yeah.
I think so. So you both don't shout as much? It's got to be good, right? In the beginning, Megan absolutely hated the fact that I was coming in and changing her family dynamics. I felt incredibly threatened by that. And coming back, Megan's completely engaged me in wanting to show me what she's done, what she's achieved. So it's, you know, children do respect you, but they need guidelines. They need to know exactly where they stand with you.
Joe's teaching with the Cookes has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to the family.
You take care. Okay?
Yeah.
Keep it up.
We will.
Alright?
Thank you so, so much.
Two years have passed since Supernanny left the Cookes to their own devices.
If anyone says, have the children changed? My answer always is, no, the children are the same, we've changed.
And the biggest change to date has been the relationship between Megan and Mum.
Mum's a lot less stressed now and she's calm. She gets on with me better.
2 years ago, the walk to school was the biggest flashpoint of the day.
I'm not hurting you.
You are! You don't know because you're not me! There you are!
Don't scratch me.
But now they're a breeze.
Were they? Now, I'm just so much more relaxed and chilled. There's no rushing, there's no shouting and screaming. If the children do something, I don't have a go at them and I don't stress them, they don't stress me, and we're just chilled.
Life's improved for Dad too. 2 years ago, when Paul got back from work, he faced a house filled with screaming and shouting.
What do you want to drink? Just sit up. What do you...
I told you, come!
Now it's a very different story.
When you come home, I haven't got that dread, oh, it's going to be all kicking off and all the rest of it, so that's not there, so that's a plus. You come through the door, and generally speaking, things are pretty harmonious.
Dad, 5% of 50 is 10, isn't it?
I think it's £2.50.
Overall, it seems everyone in the Cooke family is much calmer.
Come on, Matt.
Well, almost everyone.
Erin!
It seems youngest daughter Erin has picked up some of Megan's old habits.
Erin!
Tell the dogs to sit, Erin, see if we can get them to sit. Oh.
Look at that.
3, 2, 1, 2, go!
Miss Madam.
So when Supernanny returns to meet the Cookes 2 years on, what else will have changed?
God, I've just looked over that room.
We don't use that very often, do we, really?
And can Denise really keep her cool when it all kicks off around her? It's 2 years since Supernanny left the Cookes armed with her techniques, and now she's back to see if all the tantrums and shouting have been kept at bay.
Hiya! How are you? Good to see you. How you doing, love? You good? Yeah. Ah? Good to see you.
Come here.
Gabby, give us a hug. How are you, love? You good? Denise? Hello. How are you? I'm good. How are you? Good to see you. How you doing, mate? You all right? Oh, good to see you. God, they've like grown up so much. How are you? Just
Calm and quiet, generally.
It's different. It's just we're just a happy family. We're just somewhere else now. We have been for the last 18 months.
Since you left, basically.
Well, we were given the ammunition. We used it, and you know it's worked. I mean, they still try us. They try us constantly. But that's my girls. You know, they're always going to be like that. They're strong characters, but. It doesn't erupt like it used to. That's the difference. And I think she's happy in herself now, and she's able to sort of control it now. She's there. She's where she needs to be.
God, I've just looked over that room.
As a consequence of her bad behaviour 2 years ago, Megan spent untold hours in here reflecting on her naughtiness. But how about now?
We don't use that very often, do we, really?
We've got a lot more leverage now because Megan
uses the computer.
Megan uses
She'll
the
meet
computer.
friends in town.
And
So we
going
have
out,
actually-
so she's missed out a few times on that.
and we've
If
done
you've
it.
been
We said,
pushed
right,
too
you're
much.
not going to town.
So you just move it on. You move on your consequences.
Yeah,
To
that's
like,
changed.
yeah, exactly. More,
It gets
it's
easier
age
in a way
appropriate,
when you
right?
get- Yeah.
But some things don't change. All the girls still love nothing better than putting on a show. When Supernanny first arrived, Megan's plays tended to end in tantrums and tears.
Because you just spoiled it.
I haven't. It's my show. I can do what I like.
You have just spoiled it.
You can't say that.
want me to take you up, or are you going to go?
You just spoiled it, Megan.
I haven't. I didn't do anything.
So today, Megan can't wait to unveil her latest production.
No, it's right.
But just as the trio get into their stride, there's a problem. These days, it's not Megan kicking up a fuss when things go wrong.
Can she do hers last?
Why didn't you do yours on your own at the end?
Yeah.
Should we do the second reel then?
Together.
Love it. Look, debate, talk, done.
And a more mature Megan proves that she has her fiery artistic temperament under control.
Well done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mopsy.
This is great though because watching them and that, I love the way they just.
They can interact really well, especially with that because, as I say, they share it. Something.
Yeah, exactly.
Erin's probably my loose cannon at the moment. She's the one that will erupt and all of it. She's 6, and she's going through that stage, but she doesn't get. We just let her get on with it, and she subsides. 2 years ago, if anything went wrong and you saw me do it, I would be down on Megan like a ton of bricks.
You do not hurt her household belongings.
So she was always angry with me because I was cross with her. So therefore, now I'm not. She hasn't got that to compete with. She hasn't got to
Yeah,
think
there's no
I'm gonna
fire,
be,
is there?
No.
There's no fire.
And Megan wasn't just angry with Denise.
Get lost.
Don't shout. I know.
2 years ago, she fought Supernanny tooth and nail.
Listen to Daddy. Look, angry. Look.
But by spending some quality time with her, Megan finally opened up.
Do you remember when we did this last?
No, I
You loved it then. So what kind of things do you talk about with Mum and Dad now?
A lot.
Do you remember I gave you that thinking box that you did with Mum?
It broke.
Do you still use that every now and then, or you just talk now?
We just talk.
You just talk now. I feel cool that you continue to talk.
Victoria.
The thought box completely helped to open the lines of communication between Megan and her mum, and over time their relationship has improved beyond recognition. Now they even enjoy attending Mass together, and as always, Megan is centre stage.
What we do see now, 2 years on, is a more mature child, a child who is able to have more self-discipline with regards to her own temperament, and a mother who's learnt how to control hers as well. And that relationship has been allowed to blossom, and they've been able to build a friendship within the boundaries of mother and daughter.
When Supernanny first visited, Denise shied away from days out with her daughters and husband and spent family time at home alone.
I don't want to join in with them because I'm scared of the repercussions. I don't know how it's going to pan out.
But that's a thing of the past, and now Mum joins in with any family playtime as often as she can.
Oh, what was that? What can I say? This family have moved on. They've moved on in 2 years, and they're all in a very different place than what they were, and the kids have got older, and Denise has recognised how important it is to deal with circumstances as they arise differently to how she used to, and Paul as well, and you can see the impact that does make on the kids. See,
on, Megan. Let's go.
It's almost time for Supernanny to leave the family. But before she does, there's one last thing she wants to do. 3 girls under one roof leads to a house full of clutter. And the man of the house has one small gripe.
Denise still tidies up after the kids, and that's one thing I'd like to crack is them tidying up rather than Denise tidying up.
Supernanny wants to encourage the girls to take some of the load off Denise.
It's called Tidy Street because it's about chores. It's 3 houses. Megan's house, Gabriella's and Aaron. You can add different things to it. You can discuss with Mum. Maybe there'll be some things that Mum already does. And maybe there'll be some things that you recognise that you want to do for yourselves, for like more responsibility and doing things, okay? And I've laminated it for you so you can just rub it off. So, oh, Megan's writing out already.
Do you like it? Do you like it?
Do you know why I think it's a good idea? Because we really, us girls, know how much, we really know how much our parents do for us. And when we get to an age that we can do things for ourselves, it makes us feel proud and we feel good, you know?
Okay, so you can all write that on Saturday.
Take care of yourselves, all of you. All right, keep up with your good work, because you laid down some serious foundations and some values, and the pair of you have worked hard. Okay, it's been really great. Paul, take care. Good to see you, mate. Take care.
Thanks very much.
Take care, darling.
Yeah, really good to see you.
Take care, darling. It's been really good to see you today.
Bye. Take care. Take care.
I think it was a very, very positive thing to have the Joe Frost experience. We have no regrets, and certainly I don't think we'd be where we are now if we hadn't gone through with it.
No, I think it's the right person at the right time.
The good thing is that they're realistic. You know, they realise that there is going to be times when, you know, the kids are going to play up and they're going to be tested and those boundaries are going to be pushed. But now they know how to deal with it, and that makes them more confident as parents. And as we see, 2 years on, a mature Megan, a Megan who was able to let go of things without exploding. And to me, that's progress. Fantastic.
Next week, Supernanny returns to Staines to meet the Douglas family 2 years on. These tearaway twins were making Mum and Dad's lives hell. And now she's back. But has her training kept the tantrums away?
Oh, I see the house rules are still up.
Oh, yes.
Of course.
Look at this.
They've never been down.
If you've got your own little terrors, get some parenting advice at the website channel4.com/supernanny. Starting next on E4, Matt Lucas and David Williams both offer their perfect night in. Here, new series, 8 business millionaires are sent to a community in Uganda. Their mission is to make its living standards better.